Newton on first down. And this one's complete right side to Funchess. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said right down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. On third down, it's Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
We turn our attention to the Panthers as they come out here on offense, and it's been an interesting 3-year run. You look back to their Super Bowl appearance, then they dropped to 6 and 10 a couple of years ago. Last year back in the playoffs with 11 wins. So what in 2018?
I think a continuation of 2017 and an expansion on what we saw. It's always going to be a tough-minded team. They want to run the ball inside, and Cam Newton can be your short yardage runner as well as play the quarterback position and throw it. But they want to open things up. Remember, they drafted Christian McCaffrey last year, want to get him the ball in open space. They ended up drafting DJ Moore this year, so they want to be more explosive down the field throwing the football. And Luke Kuechly is a heck of a building block on defense. This is a team that fully expects to contend in the NFC South, and they think they can go much deeper in the playoffs.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And that is incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Out comes the Cowboys offense. The wild optimism going into last season, of course, because they were coming off that 13-3 year, but they faded a bit last year as they dropped to a good but not great 9-7.
The good thing for Dallas, they play in a pretty volatile division, the NFC East. There hasn't been a repeat champion in the East since 2003-2004, and that was Philadelphia, who currently holds the crown right now. But this is a Dallas team that I think has worked its way through some adversity. They've lost some key veteran players along the way the last 2 years. So the face of the franchise, actually the face is quarterback Dak Prescott. But to me, the guy who really makes them go, running back Ezekiel Elliott. If they get 16 out of him, expect Dallas to be in the thick of things.
Prescott now. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion.
There's obviously nothing shy about the guys dialing up offense here. They take a shot on third down, and boy, did they get rewarded, even though there was good defense on the play.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. And Dez has got it. Dez Bryant for the Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys are in for 6. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. Load them with a screen soon.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
This is where his eyes told him everything he needed to know. As a linebacker, when you're sitting at the second level and you can see everything in front of you, that play just developed right in front of him, and he got there in a hurry and made a really nice play.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They start on the ground with Elliott. Pushing his way through, and he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
It'll wind up being a huge loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and about a mile here.
Well, we all know that the instinct is to fight for every possible yard and try and pick something up. But every now and then, you've got to know when to turn off your instinct. Okay, in this situation, find a way to go down and save some yardage. I mean, quarterbacks do it all the time, right? Play up.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. A big play here for Dallas. 67 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there.
And Dez has got it. Dez Bryant for the Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in week 1. Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run with Elliott. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in a run game. No gain.
And this one is right through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. It almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again.